This training is in support of the MAXIMO Secondary Shop Process Work Document, Standard Operating Procedure Book 429, Volume 5, Chapter 4, Section 3, Subsection 2. Its purpose is to provide the requirements and process for recording maintenance in MAXIMO for secondary shop repairs. Its scope covers assets and serialized components repaired in secondary repair. Now on to the procedure regarding rotating assets. Just as a review, a rotating asset is a part in MAXIMO which we'd like to track its individual maintenance history. We record the work we do using work orders, and those work orders are based upon assets. In order for us to create a work order, that work order has to be assigned an asset. Secondary follow-up work orders for rotating assets are auto-created in the primary shops or truck bay once the install-remove transaction has been performed. What that means for us in secondary is that work orders should pre-exist in MAXIMO when the unit arrives for repair. This doesn't mean that from time to time you may have to create a work order on your own, but we'll cover that in a different section. Does the unit you're working on need to be assigned a job plan? If so, the work order must be in WAPPR status. It's only then can a job plan be added into a work order. This can be done by you, the technician, your foreworker, or expediter. The specifics on how to add a job plan in MAXIMO will be covered in a separate section. What kind of history does the unit come with? You want to determine what previous issues your unit has had in its past, as well as how often or when the last time it was in for repair. You can do this in one of two ways. You'll either want to review 2 years' worth of work orders in Work Order CM, or run the Repeater Asset Report. Again, these actions will be covered in a separate section. Now that you've assigned any job plans and got a good idea of this unit's work history, you can finally get going on actually working on the unit. You should have it assigned to you, so you'll want to put your work order in APPR status. This needs to be done so that the information such as labor time or log notes can be entered into the work order. As you started the actual physical repair on the unit, you, the tech, will want to place the work order for your unit in INPRG status. This status is similar to the APPR status, but additionally, it acts as a placeholder to let others in your shop know that work is currently being performed on the unit in the event that you aren't able to complete the work by the end of your work day. The majority of the time you're repairing and or testing a unit, you are more than likely going to need to replace a few parts. Any free stock or Kanban material required during the repair of your unit doesn't need any transaction performed in MAXIMO. However, for non-Kanban or issued parts, it's required that you request and have the parts issued to the work order from stores. You'll need to provide the part number and work order number to stores. They need to know what part you want and what work order to charge it to. So you've completed the work, and it's time to document the work that has just been done. You want to account for your labor time. This is done by navigating to the Actuals tab and clicking New Row in the Labor section. You'll want to account for the time used to work on the unit, minus your lunch and breaks. On to Log Notes. When it comes to documenting your log notes, you'll navigate to the Log tab and click on New Row in the Work Log section. For the log note type, select Work and enter your findings and actions taken. To make your intents clear, I suggest placing 2 headers in your log note. One header would be Findings and the other Action Taken, so that if your notes need to be reviewed by an outside party, there's no confusion. Your log notes should support your failure reporting, that you'll do in a moment. In your log notes, you'll want to include what was found wrong and what was done to correct the condition. In the event that several things were found with the unit, you'll want to detail the most likely primary cause of failure based on your evaluation. If you test a unit and could not find any source of failure, note the dominant mode of degradation the unit exhibited, if any. Now, if during the repair of the unit, you needed to either repair or replace a subcomponent of the unit, particularly a repairable, aka virtual asset, you'll account for that action by creating a new task line in the Actuals tab of the work order. You'll need to create a task line for each repairable item that was addressed. Just as before, creating a task for subcomponent replacement/repair will be covered in a different section.
Created using Powtoon.